dating and relationships, since I guess I'm the tail end of the baby boomers and your generation X or Y?
Why?
Yeah, I think Y. So neither of us have ever been married or had kids. Mike, do you have any kids that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware.
Okay.
No.
My name is Mary Riley, and my personal brand is The Date Meister. And I started doing these educational dating events to build my author platform. I'm trying to get a traditional publisher for my book, Date Defensively, How to Know When to Get Off at the Next Exit. And it's about identifying the red flags of whether or not your date might be personality disorder. And the definition of a personality disorder is dysfunctional thinking, a rigidity, and inflexibility that precludes somebody from being in a healthy relationship. And one thing that I want everyone to be aware of, because my book is not going to be a checklist where if you check, 7 out of 10 things, you have to throw that person back in the water. Basically, just like cancer or diabetes or any other illness, personality disorders cover a spectrum like from 0 to 10. Some people are narcissists or have obsessive compulsive personality disorder or borderline personality disorder, but they're on the milder end of the spectrum, and then you can work with them in a relationship. I'm not harshly judging people or labeling them, but if there are those mental health issues, you have to be aware of them going into a relationship. Many things are wrong with our country, but one of the things that's majorly wrong is our mental health care system. And the last meaningful study was done in 2007 on personality disorders, and it estimated that 9% of all adults had a bona fide personality disorder. But if you speak to any psychiatrist or therapist, they'll say it's more like 33%. And in a city that attracts very ambitious people, like the Donald Trumps of the world, a city like New York, many therapists think it's more like 50%. That's one of the factors that makes looking for love in New York or LA or San Francisco or Chicago, the major metropolitan areas, much harder. And also, the numbers are challenging too, particularly for women. And that's why my friend John Berger, who's a journalist, wrote Datonomics, that in major metropolitan cities, professional and college-educated women outnumber men. So he suggests not just moving to Alaska, but cities like Seattle, where there's more of a high-tech boom, and more men, because of that industry, attracts more men. I have a little visual that kind of demonstrates why being personality disorder or very selfish, not even having any kind of mental illness, precludes people having a good relationship. A relationship is a marriage of two people, even if you don't get married. It's me plus me, and you want to merge and create we. But that requires a lot of selflessness and also turning your life a little bit upside down, like what I just did with the visual. People who are really severely personality disordered can't do that. They're too rigid, they're too set in their ways.
Today Show. I write for a number of publications, including the Star Ledger, NJ.com, Reader's Digest, Shape Magazine, a multitude of other publications. And I've been doing this for about 10 years. And I have an 83% success rate at getting people into relationships. I'm probably considered the foremost expert on online dating in the entire country. There's just a seminar done, or a webinar, with people like John Gray, who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, Marty Batista, basically multimillionaires in the relationship love industry, and I'm the only person invited to speak on online dating. The reason I'm good is not because I'm very smart, because that's not true. I get data from 3 of the major online dating sites, and I give that to my clients. So anything I ever do online is based purely on facts and data, and I'm sure our good friend Lewis could understand some data analysis.
Yes, numbers.
Yes, so everything I do is numbers, so we can talk.
There you go. They predict everything, do it, yeah, they're amazing.
Yep. So that's what I do for my clients. I use data to help them fall in love. Through some algorithms in my system, most of my female clients only need to meet 6 to 8 men to find someone they like and hopefully move forward. I'm really excited that we have a small group here. Sometimes Mary and I speak in front of 40 and sometimes hundreds. And so this is really cool that we can kind of dive really deep into what's going on with you guys, as opposed to staying at a very 10,000-foot level with a lot of people. So if you guys really want to get into it, by all means, we can spend an hour and really do something cool. Anyway, I'm excited for this. Mary, anything before we start?
Well, basically, what Mike touched upon, which I think was great, was he helps frequently. His clients are more women right now, but he's worked with both men and women. Because of his vetting process with online dating being so effective, those women usually only have to date once or twice, 6 to 8 candidates before getting into an exclusive relationship. A lot of my book is really about that too. It really comes down to vetting. And what I've found, having been in 2 long-term dating relationships, one 6 years and one 9 years, that didn't go anywhere. And now that I'm happily single and not taking care of boyfriend, there's a real opportunity cost when you invest in a relationship that probably is not going to go anywhere. So I think the vetting process is really important, because I'm finding the time I have now for myself, I'm realizing my own dreams and what I want to do, and I'm not taking care of the gentleman who I really have a future with. So I think that's really a big key to dating smart and dating effectively. And Michael is aware of that too, because it seems like when you instruct your clients, it's keeping that in mind, you know, like next, if it isn't there. Is there anything else you want to say about vetting?
So I think this is an interesting topic, especially since we got men here, so maybe you guys could weigh in. But this is a topic that's been well researched. So I was interviewing John Gray, who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, about 4 weeks ago. But so you know, like the natural inclination of women when they're in a relationship is to give, because they're like, well, if I give, then the guy will probably follow suit and give back. And then what happens is the guy just receives. He's like, oh, this is all right. I don't mind this. You know, she made me dinner, she made me breakfast, whatever. That was great. I'll eat it. Wonderful. And then the woman is expecting some reciprocation, and it never really happens. And then the woman starts getting dissatisfied, and maybe she starts giving more. So now instead of 50-50, maybe the woman goes to 70, and now he's at 30. And so I think what's interesting, and I'm looking for you guys to agree with me or disagree, which is perfectly fine too, is I think what a lot of women are missing is that instead of giving more, if they just actually allowed for an environment where they could receive, that's ultimately what men really want. Because if a man can chase a woman and then do things for her, take her to dinner, or hold the door for her, or help her with her jacket, or help her with a chair, and she can say, thank you, that was great. And say, wow, you're so strong, thank you for lifting that chair. That's what a man really needs, is to feel this.
Oh, yes, yes. Welcome.
He needs to be appreciated. And when he's appreciated for these things, that's when he really is going to be more smitten with the girl. Is that kind of on base with what you're talking about?
Yes. Because I'm writing my book and New York, Manhattan is so unaffordable, I've moved temporarily to the Jersey Shore, and I'm living with a wonderful lady who is married and divorced late in life. And she said you have to give men their man cave. And sometimes with men, they really just want to be with you without communicating and without talking. And I think that for me, that was a lesson I didn't learn early enough in life. I was always like, we always had to be engaged. I think I exhausted my college boyfriend who I was with 6 years, because it was like, give me, more, and let's talk. And I think sometimes that's one of the complaints men have about women is it's just all too intense all of the time. But I want to share this interesting quote from a wonderful book. It's not really from a book, but there's a gentleman who's deceased now named Anthony DeMello, and he wrote many books. One of them is called The Way to Love. He was a Jesuit Catholic priest who was of Indian descent.